Hey everybody, it's DIY Coach Al over here at Lawn Care and Home Repair. Today I'm going to show you why you may want to trade this two-cycle gas lawn equipment in for some of that electric equipment over there. I'm going to give you a few good reasons why I think you should make the switch. Be right back. What did I forget? Oh, that's right. Cue the music. Hey everybody, DIY Coach Al over here. Let me apologize in advance because I'm shooting this video and my wonderful neighbor, he and I really are good friends, decided he's going to cut his grass over there while I'm doing this. But hey, this is what would happen. Sometimes life gets in the way of living, right? So hopefully the quality of this will come out good. The sound quality, I am using my new Mic Mini, which has proven to be really good in the past. So today I want to talk about why I think it really is worth making that switch over to the electric lawn equipment from the gas powered, particularly that two-cycle stuff that you have to put the oil in, mixture oil and your gasoline in. And I don't know if you guys have done it. I've done it. I forgot to put the oil mixture in with the gasoline, locked my engine up, had to end up replacing the equipment because it was basically just too expensive to have it fixed. Technology is what it is. After a while, it's just better to get something new. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is actually start up this two-cycle engine. Now this has been sitting in my shed since last year. So one of the problems, or one of the, I don't want to say it's a problem, one of the nuisances with the two-cycle engine is that you have to make sure you get this ubiquitous red can. Everybody knows what this is. This is the approved can that you can actually dispense gasoline in, not those plastic jugs that you save over when you get that gallon of milk at the grocery store, okay? You need to make sure you have a can that's rated to hold gasoline. This stuff is combustible. It will explode. It'll catch on fire and it'll burn everything down. So what I'm gonna do is put some, let's see, I haven't used this in a while. I'm going to put some gas in here. Make sure we get it all full. And once again, this is the mixture of the gas and the oil. First problem is that this actually requires gas and oil. Eventually, I mean, when you've been using these things for as long as I have, I've been doing yard work. Oh my God, I'm 58 and a half years old. I've been doing yard work for so long. I'm just used to this. But the reality is that it's a nuisance. You have to get the can, you have to go to the store, you have to the gas station, you have to put the gas in there. And just, it's sunny, it's warm out here today. Just last year, late in the lawn care season last year, I had to go fill up my 5-gallon gas can because most of my lawn equipment was running on the gas, then gas and gas and oil mixture. And I didn't put the top on correctly. I had already put a plastic bag in the car so that if there was any spillage, it would spill on the bag. But I didn't put the top on correctly and the gas spilled into the trunk of the car. And that gas smell, I had to leave the doors down for a while. It's nauseating, it's toxic. That gas smell stayed in my car for almost 2 weeks. And I promise you, I did everything I could to get that gas smell out. So the number one reason is that with battery powered, you don't have to deal with that gasoline. So what we have to do with the two-cycle, first we have to prime it. And I've actually had this trimmer for several years now. You have to press that bulb, prime it. I'm going to show this to you guys, but you all already know this. If you use this equipment, you want to make sure you press that bulb to prime it. Then you have to put it in full choke. So we got it down here in full choke. Then we have to make sure we press the power button, and then we have to pull the cord. Nothing. Now, this has been sitting in my shed, like I said, for about 5 months now. Another problem with that is that there are just so many moving parts with the gas. You got to make sure that your spark plug is good. You have to make sure you have that connection right there. You have to make sure that you're not over priming it so that you're not flooding the engine. You have to make sure you have it in the run position. And now I had surgery on my left shoulder. You have to keep doing this. Nothing. It's just not going to start. Now, I've not had any issues with this before, but one of the things with gasoline is that when it sits down for a while, the little bit of water that's in there could fall to the bottom of the can. It could have gotten diluted a little bit. I may actually have to now have this cleaned out. Am I going to get rid of this? No, because that's not what I do. I'm going to keep trying to figure out why this isn't starting. I know I have my 2-in-1 gas mixture in here. I know that my gas tank is full, but it's just not starting no matter what I do. And it is definitely in full choke. So Houston, we finally have liftoff. That took me about, what, a minute to get this thing running. Now, the positive thing about gasoline powered is that you're gonna really, I think, still get it a little more power with gas than you are with electric. I did buy a 56 volt, 16-inch Ego trimmer over here. I'm gonna come back and show you that part in a little bit. But once again, the issue with gas, you saw how long it took me to finally get this started. Now, hopefully, we're good. So now we're good. I love the power in this. And as I said before, you don't have to go out and buy a Stihl or an Echo or a DeWalt or some other really expensive trimmer. I've been using Ryobi for years now, never had a problem with them. This is the expandable unit that I have, so I can put different things on here, a pruner, a shears, I can put all that stuff on here. But the big issue with the gas is that you have to get the gas, you have to make sure you have the oil, you have to mix it, you have to make sure you're not spilling it, you have to put it in choke, you have to let it run, then you have to put it in half choke, let it run again, then you put it on run. All that takes maybe as much as 5 minutes, depending upon, if you had the kind of issues that I had. Now I'm going to come back and show you why I think you may want to move over to the electric. Be right back. Hey, DIY Coach Al back. So now, as I said before, I want to show you the ease of use with the electric equipment. But first I want to say what the process that I just demonstrated with how you start a 2-cycle engine, that's going to be for your lawnmower where you have to prime it, where you have to pull that string until you can get it to start. It's going to be that way with your blower. Most 2-cycle engines are going to work the exact same way, where you have to go through that process. Once again, so many moving parts. And the number one thing is they all take gas for sure, but that combination of gas and oil for a 2-cycle engine. So when we're looking at the electric equipment, you guys saw the process that I just had to go through to get my trimmer started. The gas powered electric, it's just a matter of putting the battery on, making sure you have power with that battery, and then you basically just start it. Now I just put some string on here. So this is a power load, Ego power load with Line RQ. So I have to just get this string advanced. All right, this thing is really powerful. I love it, but I'm still kind of getting used to it. So we put our battery on, we push our safety switch in. That's it. It took me with my other one over here, with the one that's 2-cycle, that's gas powered, gas and oil powered. It took me to get it primed, to get it choked and everything else. Took me several minutes to do that. With this, it's simply, you ready? You put your, there you go, put our battery on, make sure we have power, pull your safety trigger, and you have power. Now, the other thing about this is that I'm not sure. I still use both of them. I'm still convinced that the gas powered is actually a little more powerful, but the electric is just so much easier to use. You don't have to do all of that startup when you're ready to use your equipment. You just put your battery in whichever system you use. I have Ego, I have Ryobi. I've had this particular trimmer for what, 4 or 5 years, and I have never had a problem with it. Put your battery in, safety mechanism. The ease of use, the ease of use with a, forgive me as I said, it's pretty hot out here today and sunny. The ease of use with electric equipment, I think, or battery powered equipment, it just makes it so much more convenient. There's so fewer moving parts. You don't have to worry about going to the store, getting that gasoline and putting it in there. And Ego has actually been around for a while. The good thing about these batteries is that you can just take it from one piece of equipment over to your next. This is my lawnmower. This is Spicy. Same thing. Just pop her in, battery in. Don't have to prime it, don't have to choke it, don't have to pull the cord. All I have to do, extend my handles with my safety, push this button in, and she's ready to go. Not only do I think it's more efficient, it cuts down on time, it's also less labor intensive. When you get up there in age like I am, let's say I'm 58 and a half years old, by far not too old to deal with the gas powered lawn equipment, but the ease of use. I enjoy, over the last year, I've moved over from gas powered over to the battery powered, and I was a little unsure at first. Like most people with battery powered things, whether it's cars or lawn equipment, you do have that range anxiety. The battery that I have in my weed eater right here, that's a 4 amp hour battery. It's a 56 volt system, 4 amp hour battery. That battery for the weed eating, literally it's going to trim my whole yard and everything. In fact, I even had a 2.5 amp hour battery, and it'll run long enough. I cut about 10,000 square feet. That trimmer, that battery, that 2.5 amp hour battery, or the 4 that I have in there, is more than enough to do my yard, and I also do part of my neighbor's yard when I'm trimming, because our property lines, our lawn just runs one to the next. And when I'm using my lawnmower, when I'm using Spicy over here, this 8 amp hour battery cuts the entire 10,000 square feet, and I actually still have power left. So some people have been apprehensive about going from gas power to battery because of that range anxiety. I promise you, when you start to move over to that battery power platform, now if you get a cheaper brand, those batteries may not last as long, but for the most part, if you get a decent quality, and as I said, I use Ryobi equipment. When I did have a Ryobi Pushmo, I did have to take it back because there was a factory defect. And since I wanted to really move over to the Ego platform, I just went ahead and bought that particular one. But the ease of use with battery powered, you don't have to worry about that gas, the gas can, getting that gas smell all in your nostrils, all in your vehicle, whatever you may have. Not everybody is blessed to have a flatbed truck, but it's so much easier to just put the battery in. Now, the cost. The reality is that a decent battery powered lawn tool is going to cost a little more than a 2-cycle engine lawn tool, lawn equipment is going to cost, but it pays for itself. Depending upon the amp hour battery that you get, and if you go with a brand like Ego, you can easily pay $200 for a battery. What you do is look at the cost of that battery that's going to come with the charger. Usually when you buy the battery, it's going to have the charger. How much you would actually spend in gas. When I'm using Little Mama over there, my lawn tractor, it runs on a lot of gas. Let's say if you're in California, gas is $5-6 a gallon. To fill up a 5-gallon gas can, that's going to run easily $30. How long does it take for that gas to last? You have to look at storing that gas in a place where it's not too hot. You have to make sure it's in a temperature controlled room. And as often as you go and get gas, it's going to build up the cost. Ego, I'm only talking about Ego for now. Ego has a 3-year warranty on its batteries, and I believe a 5-year warranty on this equipment. If that battery goes out, if it's defective within 3 years, they're going to replace it. Once you buy that gas, it's your gas. As I said before, you have to worry about storing it. You have to make sure it's away from things so that if it does combust, that it doesn't cause any kind of problems for you, anything. So I'm not saying that battery powered is for everybody. If you do yard work for a living, do you want to have to carry around multiple batteries like you would have to do? If you're using battery powered equipment, probably not. But hey, I watch some YouTubers who they do this for a living, and they have said, hey, I am getting as much power out of this 56 volt Ego as I am out of my gas powered Stihl or something like that. You have to decide how often you are using your equipment, what you're actually doing. And if you're just an average homeowner who's taking care of your yard, taking care of your shrubs and things like that, it is so much easier. Instead of putting that gas in, going to the gas station, getting that gas, putting that gas in, having to pull that cord, having to prime it, having to make sure that you put it in choke. There are just so many moving parts that you have to remember, and it's labor intensive. Just going over to the battery powered, it can save you money over time. It saves wear and tear on your body. And this is something that I really like, especially about the lawnmower. When I'm done with it, I can actually just bend it down and I can just store it upright. And this actually saves a lot of storage space in my shed over there. So as I said, there are just so many really positive things about the battery powered that if you've been on the line about it, on the fence about it, I promise you DIY Coach Al was also. I'm so glad I made that move to go over to battery powered. Hey, do me a favor, if you guys like this video, hit that like button over there and then consider subscribing to the channel. I try to put out content once or maybe twice a week. I appreciate my new subscribers I have already. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, any concerns about whether or not you think you should go from gas to battery or from battery to gas. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think. Hey, you guys also know what I like to say. If you can, reach down today and help pull somebody else up. God bless you. Love you.